So, as a podcaster, this doesn't happen often, but I'm actually at a loss for words. Because I'm pretty sure I am more confused coming out of this press conference than I was going into it. I have no idea what this company is doing, and WrestleMania is in 2 months. The undercard is so far off from coming together that it's actually, I would say it's laughable if not sad. But I guess you really can't give a lot of care to the undercard until your main events are set, and this company is so far off, they have no idea what they're doing. The final visual was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, with The Rock and Roman telling Triple H he better fix this. So nothing was even, that was the final official word, but it looks like at any moment they can change that, add somebody in, make it a fatal 4-way, both titles on the line, who knows? Switch it back to The Rock. Who knows? It's almost like they're trying to buy time and see where this all where it all goes. Are certain aspects going to settle down? But nothing is making sense at all. You have Cody Rhodes, who came out after The Rock. Roman Reigns says, okay, him and The Rock, that match is official. Because Cody Rhodes told him last Friday, I'll eventually come for you in that title, but not at WrestleMania. So, okay, he made his decision, right? He says, I do not choose you at Mania. He literally says that last Friday. Okay, so then Roman says, all right, then I got to move on. Rock, it's me and you. Rock comes out. Rock shows the family tree, talks about why this is so important, right? We want Cody, and the other half of the arena, no, we don't. We want Cody, no, we don't. So The Rock has a ton of fans, right? And he's having fun with it. Earlier today, a 60-second promo on the Pat McAfee show, turning straight up heel to those people that want to boo him or drag him, right? He cut the old school Hollywood Rock type promo. In Hollywood Rock, he would shred pro wrestlers middle of the ring, leave them in a pool of their own embarrassment with just his words. That's how good Hollywood Rock is. And he tapped into that hours ago on the Pat McAfee show. He called the Cody Rhodes movement people. He called them Cody crybabies. He says for every 10 tweets they tweet out, they eat a chicken nugget. And for every 20 tweets, they can take 2 chicken nuggets and shove them up their ass. Hashtag know your role, bitches. Hashtag Cody crybabies. And he added a lot more, too. I'm paraphrasing. He added a lot more. It was a straight 63 seconds of Hollywood Rock. And to those that don't like The Rock, don't want to see him around, call him just a part-timer, say that he's got an ego and that he's a bully and he sabotaged Mania, and all these other outrageous statements that are just so stupid. The Rock said, literally on Pat McAfee's show, he said, these are grown adults. That's the thing. It's not just like they're kids. Grown adults. And he just shredded them. He's like, honey, did you want to go outside? No, Cody's got to finish his story. Honey, you want to go have sex? No, Cody's got to finish his story. He just shredded them. So, of course, they're not going to like him even more now. Actually, a lot of the people that were ripping The Rock lately, they actually gave him some props. They were like, all right, now I remember why he's so damn special. There ain't a wrestler today that can hold a candle to The Rock on that microphone when he wants to turn it up all the way to 11 and truly be amplified. So that was better than the actual press conference, that Pat McAfee appearance in Hollywood Rock. So you got The Rock now having to turn heel to a portion of the crowd. Roman is picking him because Cody already told Roman, I don't choose you. And then when they go face to face, Cody comes out. Seth is out there the whole time. Basically, he's holding the microphone. He could have been holding his how you doing joystick for all anybody cared. He was useless out there. He didn't say a damn word after. Who came out first? Roman came out after Seth, and that was it. I don't think he said another word. They took a few jabs at one another. They really are in a war, guys. Seth versus Roman is the match I want to see. Because behind the scenes, they are just not seeing eye to eye, man. Seth was really pissed. Roman was pissed at what Seth said about his championship. He was just privy to the information that Seth was going to run him down a little bit. What Seth ended up saying about Roman didn't like. Roman came out, took some really hard jabs back at Seth on last Friday night SmackDown, and Seth didn't like it. This Monday, he kept going back to that. Sounds like a pop to me. He really got pissed off at that, saying that Seth doesn't get a pop. So tonight, you could just tell, man, they were talking over one another at first. Seth versus Roman, I got to watch that one. But Seth is out there for no reason. Cody comes out, and he says, this is bullshit. Right? In the Cody, the hardcore Cody movement supporters, right? The Rock said it best on Pat McAfee hours ago. He said there's Cody, which I'm cool with. Love Cody, his family. That's what The Rock said. There's Cody fans, and then there's Cody crybabies, which is this whole movement, weird thing with all these grown-ass dudes, grown adults, freaking furious on the online doohickey machine. So, of course, BC's in the middle of that. I'm a Cody supporter. Not Cody himself, definitely not a Cody crybaby, but I'm a Cody supporter. And Cody comes out and he says, this is bullshit. So everybody that's on Team Cody is like, yeah, bullshit. But if you just take a step back, whether you're on Cody's side or not, what is bullshit? Storyline wise, you came out. You said, I do not choose you at Mania. So that you literally said, I don't choose you. That means you chose Sethington. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Austin Theory with the Money in the Bank contract? Instead of going for a world title, you're going to go for the U.S. Championship? And like Austin Theory, are you going to wind up flat on your back looking up at the lights next to two rubber chickens? If you tell Roman not your title, that's only one title left. It's Sethington. You just got to make it official now, I guess. So Cody comes out and says, bullshit. What's bullshit? You said you had talks with The Rock. You were the one that brought The Rock out. You looked at Roman and said, I don't choose you at Mania. But this guy's going to take you on. Basically what he said. He brought The Rock out, said, I don't choose you, and then he left. And now he's coming out and saying, bullshit. Bullshit, he says. I choose you, Roman. What the Don't you want to make it make sense a little bit? Just a little bit. Don't you want to make this make sense? So then all of a sudden the graphic of The Rock switches to Cody Rhodes. And then they cut to the panel. That was it, basically, right? I mean, that was it. Or The Rock slapped the taste out of Cody's mouth. Because he said, well, now you're talking about my family. You're talking about Roman's family. You're talking about mine. So he made it a whole like, listen, as much as we may have some tension and feuding here, you ain't going to talk about him. Because then you're talking about me. So then he smacks Cody across his mouth. And then Sethington comes out of nowhere to the defense of Cody. So now it looks like we have a heel dynamic versus two-face dynamic. So now you have seeds planted for a tag team match that I'm pretty sure a big portion of the IWC is going to... I'm not going to hear the end of how epic this match could be, right? Oh, it's a tag team match. So I lost Roman and Rock, which is a dream match to BC and many others. I'm not going to get to see that dream match. Instead, I'm going to see a useless, meaningless, nonsensical tag team match eventually. Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman. Wow. Gee, let me take my wallet. Which card do you want? Take all the credit cards. What do you want? What do you... Yeah, that's the match I want to see. 40 years of WrestleMania. Beasley, maybe it'll be at the Elimination Chamber. Maybe they'll do it at SummerSlam. It could be a good tag match, Beasley. Who cares? I barely care about that on Monday Night Raw, dude. I don't need to see Seth and Cody tag team up. Nothing's on the line at that point. You don't even get Rock and Roman with the bloodline on the line. The tribal chief, the head of the table. What the heck is a tag team? How's people getting excited? I already saw people going, oh, this could be a tag team match. It's the same people that probably wanted a triple threat with Cody, Rock, and Roman before tonight, which wouldn't have made any sense. Cody has nothing to do with the Rock and Roman story. And even if you want to say there was a finish of the story with Cody and Roman, then The Rock wouldn't have anything to do with that. So no, you can't just make a triple threat out of thin air. What they did tonight is they at least opened that possibility to occur, which I can't say that excites me because everything is done so stupidly. Nothing is done correct. This all is just so off the... If this is the road to WrestleMania and we're all on this vehicle, right? We're all on this vehicle together. We just began the road to WrestleMania. Guess what? All 4 of the tires just imploded. Each one of them went a separate way. And for a good freaking half mile, we were just freaking literally steel on concrete. We finally came to a screeching stop. We're going to have to put 4 new tires, maybe a transmission, a complete new motor. Put everything. We're going to have to just, at this point, just get a new vehicle. New vehicle. Because this road to WrestleMania, man, it is a rough start. I don't know what I just witnessed for over an hour and a half, whatever it was. But this press conference, it did nothing. They tried to capitalize on the Super Bowl being in Vegas, right? Everybody gets there around Wednesday to Thursday night, and they stay for the weekend activities, Friday, Saturday. So they tried to capitalize without a plan. And then when more than a few, some of the IWC just became furious that The Rock was back. Then plans changed even more, and now the company is totally lost. Paul Levesque McMahon doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't have a clue. Basically, it's not him. It's Rock, Gerwitz, and Khan, man. They're all in business. Ari and Endeavor. Triple H has his hands tied, basically. No, he doesn't. He's the chief creative officer. What are you talking about? At least put together the undercard properly. It's in 2 months. LA Knight's cutting interviews like he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's like, I guess I'll go for a consolation prize if I get a U.S. title shot. But, I'd rather not. But if I have to, LA Knight doesn't know what... If Randy Orton's an afterthought, we don't know if we're getting Jey Uso and Gunther for Elimination Chamber or are we getting it for Mania? Because the company doesn't even know. That's why they planted seeds for Braun Breaker and even Sheamus. There's no... you see Becky Lynch and Rhea out there tonight, face to face. But we're also hearing that Liv Morgan could be added to make it a triple threat. Drew McIntyre is looking to be into the match with Cody and Seth for a triple threat. But if they do take Cody out and it does end up Cody versus Roman, then what? Drew versus Seth for the 17th time? Are we really going to do Drew and Seth one-on-one? That's WrestleMania? You're not going to blame Paul Levesque McMahon for any of it? This was an easy solution. Sorry, Seth, you gotta step out of the main event. Dude, you're injured. You have 2 injuries. Your back has been a nagging injury, and your leg is so... It's so messed up that you can't even wrestle until probably Mania. He cut an interview saying, I'll be back before Mania wrestling, hopefully. The point is, you've been out for a while wrestling-wise because you're banged up. And the person you were gonna face, CM Punk, he's so banged up, he's out of WrestleMania with that torn tricep. So it's just not in the cards, brah. Just, you can still wrestle, have a good match. But Seth in the main event, the universe had other plans. This is easy. Rock versus Roman. No title on the line. Just the bloodline. The head of the table is what's on the line. Rock and Roman. And then Cody versus Roman. Championship on the line, night 2. Cody can end the show, and he probably flat on his back, right? They want Roman to get Hogan's record, so he's probably going to lose. And again, maybe The Rock cost him the title, right? This heel turn, the long game. I truly believe it's going to end up now, Rock versus Cody Rhodes at some point. I think you're probably going to get a stupid tag team match, Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman. And half of the IWC will be fucking fondering over that. This is so epic. This is how it should be. Yeah, we just lost a dream match to so many of us. Oh, BC, stop, man. This wasn't a dream match. For you, for us, it was. Every year around WrestleMania, man, there's a portion of the IWC that just ruins it for BC, man. Edge versus Roman, you guys remember, was a match I was just really looking forward to. One-on-one. I'm old school, right? I don't do all the triple threats, the fatal four-ways. I can't stand those because there's too many of them. Once in a while, they're fun. But the last 10, 15 years, we've been overdoing multi-man schmaz matches because it's easy to book, right? You just throw everybody out there, and then we live in a microwave society, so everybody just goes, "Ooh, this is awesome! This is awesome!" Right? And then they go, and then they go and they see how many stars people are giving it afterwards. Right? That's just the society we live in for pro wrestling. No different. Microwave society. So I'm old school. I like a one-on-one title match, man. You have a champion, you have a number one contender, you have a good storyline. Let's rock. So, no pun intended. But you had Edge and Roman. A few years ago, Edge and Roman. And there was a portion of the IWC that just wanted Daniel Bryan. I still to this day don't know why. Daniel Bryan doesn't know why. He's been interviewed. He says, it didn't feel right. He says to this day, it was just awkward for him. But there was a portion that just wanted Bryan in this match. And in the end, Roman just stacked him and Edge up, and the match is beyond forgettable. Many months later, Edge would take on Roman one-on-one, and sure enough, that match absolutely delivered. Should have been at on the grandest stage where it would have been even better. But I just didn't get my way there, man, and you kind of take it on the chin and you just say, dude, man, that portion of the IWC, they don't know how to book wrestling, but they were loud enough. They chirped, and they got Daniel Bryan in there. Last year, right? Cody Rhodes had to win that title because I knew you just cannot keep this going another year because it just doesn't make sense, right? Shawn Michaels, the boyhood dream at WrestleMania 12, you wouldn't have him lose and not get the title at 12 and then try to do it again a year later at 13. It wouldn't even have made sense. And we never would have gotten Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13. Because you would have been stuck in the past doing Michaels and Bret Hart again because he's got to finish his boyhood dream story. No, you read the room. You know that that's the time. Cody Rhodes, that was his time last year. 39, it just was, right? We already knew Roman was going on a very long vacation. He was going to show up once in a while. He showed up about 10 to 11 times. 3 or 4 of those were live events. That's it, ever since Mania. He's only had a handful of matches. Maybe 6 or 7, something like that. He just didn't show up a lot. So you knew he was going home for the rest of the year, basically. And you knew that Cody had a lot of appearances, a lot of countries. He was wrestling around the world. And he was starting it up with Brock. And they decided, right, there was this portion right before Mania. There was a portion of fans that started talking struggle and adversity. Hold on, guys. We don't feel right about Cody getting the title. We don't feel right about this. We think it's best if Roman keeps the title another year. And then next year, Cody, after he does a year of struggle and adversity, he comes back and wins the title. So these fans were future booking, not remembering that this is WWE, whether it's VKM or HHH, they're in way over their heads. They're not going to book a full year of flawless television. They're not going to book Cody Rhodes the way that he should be if you're going to try to run this back in a year. But they gave them the benefit of the doubt, and here we are. He's laying down next to a rubber chicken last year, and the whole year, they basically just stayed away from one another. You didn't even hear about this damn story. The rest of the year just took on Judgment Day 70 times. That's it. And then Rumble comes around. We start talking about WrestleMania season and like a groundhog popping out of the ground and seeing if he sees his shadow, right? Cody Rhodes comes out of nowhere and he starts talking about that story again 2 months before Mania. So once again, BC was like, what are you doing? Last year was perfect. The atmosphere, you're never going to get that back. And that was the time. And this small portion of fans, they let HHH know that it's okay if you want to call an audible. And he was just waiting for that. He still remembers the sledgehammer to the throne in AEW. Stop it. Stop. He knows that. So he was just waiting. As long as there's a big portion and a loud portion that is okay with this, you know what? I'm gonna do a little audible. What he wasn't expecting is that response immediately after Cody lost. And that's why he was in that press conference and he said, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. He knew that stadium, everything just got sucked out of him. And that was just wrong. You can't end a Mania like that with that type of an atmosphere. That's not a fun we didn't get our way. That was like, whoa, that's really bad business. Like, that's not good. We know Roman's going home. We know Cody's got a big schedule ahead of him. What are you doing, bro? Especially if you're going to start him up with Brock. The whole reason Brock would take him out is because Cody's the new title holder. Brock couldn't go for Roman's because of their last stipulation in the last match. If he wins, Brock can't go for Roman. You guys see what I'm saying? It was set up perfectly. And that was going to be such an epic moment, man. For BC, for sure. You know, I'm a big Cody supporter, and I knew that was the time. Everything just felt right. The stars aligned. And HHH in this portion of IWC idiots just said, struggle at Awasa. And yet again, ruined. Like throwing Daniel Bryan into a Edge Roman match like they need it. And then this year, you get a dream match for a lot of us. A match that I'm definitely looking forward to. Roman versus Rock. I've been waiting years for that. You guys know that. I've been saying this for years. So I finally get that, it looks like, right? And of course, this damn story out of nowhere. Now, as a Cody supporter, I have not heard this type of response the whole year. So where was everybody this whole year? All of a sudden, The Rock comes back and everybody turned into a massive Cody supporter. I don't remember seeing any of them around this whole year. Not to this level. And I just knew, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to lose this dream match, aren't I? Sure enough, yet again, this portion of the WC, they, for now, we're going to run back Cody and Roman, although that looks like it could easily turn into a triple threat now that Rock is more heel. So I doubt that's going to stay one-on-one. But a triple threat I'm not into either. I'll be a little bit more into it than I was now seeing The Rock as a heel, seeing the slap across Cody's face. Again, the long game tells me that The Rock will end up taking on Cody Rhodes, two dynasty families, and they're going to collide now. And Rock will most likely be the ultimate heel. He can be that Hollywood Rock, which he's Hollywood now more than he was when he was playing Hollywood Rock. So this... You know, that's more interesting to me than Roman and Cody Part 2. I've already saw the match last year. And I know that was the time he should have lost it. So now, even if Cody wins the title this year, no matter if it's a triple threat, fatal four-way, all the gold's on the line, it doesn't matter. It seems so forced. It's almost like a lot of us just want this damn story over with. Because it's caused so much drama and bullshit. We're not even having fun anymore. Right? This isn't a fun storyline. This is just we're confused. The company doesn't know what they're doing. And we're just waiting for this damn story to get over. And I don't know. Is there fans that really think that all of us, if he hoists the title up at Mania, we're all just going to jump out of our seat and go, yeah, he did it. He finished the story. Right? You're going to start calling everybody up, yelling out your window, man, he finished the story. It's not the same as last year, and now it's just a mess. It's a mess, man. This whole thing is just a mess, and I'm not blaming Cody. Cody looked like an idiot. I mean, he's been looking like an idiot, though, the whole year. He doesn't even mention Roman. It's almost like he doesn't even know if he wants that story anymore. And then Seth cuts one 4-minute promo 2 weeks ago on Raw, and Cody says, all right, I'll think about it. Right there, you're telling the fans, wow, obviously you really weren't that passionate about going back to WrestleMania to take on Roman. You're actually contemplating this. And then he shows up on SmackDown and says, I don't choose you, Roman. I will not be taking you on at WrestleMania. So what do you expect fans to do, man? Of course they're going to go, oh, this dude doesn't know what he wants. Then he comes out tonight and he's like, this is bullshit. I changed my mind. I do want you, Roman. What are we doing? And you don't see why a lot of fans are not on board with part 2 of Finish the Story? As a Cody supporter, this has turned into one of the stupidest stories. This is one of the dumbest stories I can remember in recent history. So for everybody, and I'm not going to call them Cody crybabies, man. That's The Rock's term. And I know there's if you truly want Cody, I support the dude too. So I think that's another level. It's like what The Rock said. It's Cody fans, and then he calls them the Cody crybabies. I just call them delusional. Their thinking's a little off kilter. Reel it back in. If you're a Cody supporter, reel it back in, man. Because he definitely took it way too. I mean, it was silly. It was embarrassing. It really put a bad look on pro wrestling, a bad look on wrestling fans. It was not good. It was not good. A lot of people just shied away from that. They were like, that's not us. They do not represent us. It was actually disgusting and despicable, actually embarrassing. But either which way, you have this situation now where Cody Rhodes is, he comes out and he says, bullshit, I choose you, Roman. You can't book this and expect people to just be on board with it and be like, wow, man, I can't wait till this story is finished. It is that bad to a lot of us. It is bad right now. This is just bad. Nobody even knows if that's the official match, by the way. They cut to the panel, which was CM Punk, Big E, Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole, and they were all confused. Michael Cole goes, well, it looks like it's going to be Cody versus Roman. And everybody simultaneously went, is that the match? CM Punk literally asked Big E the same time, and Pat McAfee goes, are you sure, Michael? And Michael Cole's like, well, that's what it says up there. It's showing Cody and Roman, and then Michael Cole is trying to it's like he's trying to convince himself. He's like, well, that's the last thing we heard, right? Cody said, I choose you, Roman. And Punk, Big E, Pat McAfee, they're like, I don't know about that. And then backstage, Triple H is like, I have to think of something. I have to do something. Rock and Roman walk by H, and they're pissed off, and they're like, you better do something about this. This is bullshit. Talking about the family like it. You better do something about it. And they said something that made the people around them really shocked. Maybe it had to do with Vincent Kennedy. But he said something to H, and H goes, yeah, you are too. So I don't know what they said. I got to find that out. But so that's what I mean. It looks like that match will be changed anyway. I don't even, this could have been avoided. Seth, you got two nagging injuries, man. One of them is literally keeping you out of action. And the person you were going to face is literally out of action, out of WrestleMania. So it just wasn't meant to be a main event, man. Sorry about the title. But that's another thing that's muddied now. That title that Seth has been working so hard to make the workhorse world title, guys, it's done. It's done. It is so irrelevant. This dude held a microphone out there while everybody else fought over that damn actual championship. The real WWE championship, the Universal. While Seth Rollins was looking at his title like it's one of those plastic toy belts you buy in Target. Bullshit. Nobody's ever going to take that serious again. And we have to put Seth in a main event. Stop. This should have been Cody versus Roman. Night 2 for the title. Night 1, you kick it off with that dream match for many of us. Rock, Roman. Roman can work 2 nights. He should. He's that damn title holder. He's had it for so damn long. He rarely wrestles during the year. Good for him. He's got the ultimate contract. We give him praise for that every time. Every once in a while, we have to say, no, now you have to show up to work. Now you have to wrestle twice in one weekend. Oh no, back in the day, they wrestled 3-4 times a night. I don't know. I have no idea. But once again, when I'm cool with it, man. I'm not going to go hashtagging. I'm not going to go trying to tweet over to Paul Levesque McMahon. Hey, Paul, can you please change this? I didn't get my way. You know what I mean? Once again, I didn't get my way. No, I did not. I didn't get my dream match. It doesn't look like I'm going to get that. And it's muddied anyway. Everything's all twisted. I mean, I love Hollywood Rock. And if he keeps that going, you're going to see a lot of fun. But I still don't get to see exactly what I was hoping for out of Roman and Rock. And, that portion of the IWC, hopefully you guys... I don't know. I don't know what you're expecting, man. Every year around WrestleMania, this group it's like they get together and they think, how can we sabotage WrestleMania? How can we just, you know what I mean? Let's all become instant, wild, crazy Cody supporters all at once. Ready, go. They come up with the stupidest shit to sabotage WrestleMania. In the last several days, running The Rock into the ground. He's coming back to have a wrestling match. His last match was over 10 years ago. What do you mean he's taking spots? People can't get over because of The Rock. If you can't get dudes over in over 10 years, that says a lot more about the company, about HHH, about the VKMs, about the talent who has a speck of creativity, a speck of charisma, a speck of personality that The Rock has. Unfortunately, that's today's wrestling fan. Or wrestler. Today's wrestling fan has the attention span, a speck of what the wrestling fan had years ago. We could sit there and watch 25 minutes of a punch, a kick, a body slam, a clothesline because the wrestlers were larger than life. The storylines were so epic. You just wanted to see them face off and go at it. Nowadays, if you don't get 16 Hurricanranas, 14 Canadian Destroyers, and 12 suicide dives, and 10 moonsaults, and 9 750, 465 plancha splash moonsault inadvertent suplex machines from the top rope through a flaming table, you might not get a "This is awesome" chant. Oh no. These wrestlers today, man, you saw what The Rock, you listened to what The Rock did on the Pat McAfee show earlier. 60 seconds. Shredding fans. Shredding. Everybody cracking up. Everybody captivated by The Rock for those 60 seconds in that studio. Today's wrestler, they can't do 10% of that, 5%. Come on, try to get Ricochet out there. Let's see if he can do that. I love Randy Orton. He ain't captivating you like that. LA Knight, he's good. He's not even in Stone Cold's league, though. And Stone Cold on the mic was not in the league of The Rock in terms of absolutely shredding individuals. Stone Cold was damn great, though, in his own way. He had a very straight-up approach, and nobody in that aspect can be a Stone Cold on the mic. But The Rock was in a league of his own. Wrestlers today could not even touch that. You have fans that say, oh, if you want The Rock and Roman, you're stuck in the Attitude Era. This is for the new generation of wrestler and wrestling fans. Well, if that's the case, I say instead of forgetting about the Attitude Era or leaving it in the past, I say this generation needs a lot more attitude. Because in that 60 seconds with Pat McAfee, watching The Rock on stage tonight, yep, that's what makes wrestling epic. Those type of characters. Those type of performances. The way they make you feel when they come through that curtain. Who's doing that today? There ain't nobody. If you want to make this a generational thing, if you want to say it's Attitude Era versus New Era, the mutual respect era. We're going to have long matches. We're going to do all the cool sequences. We're going to get "This is awesome" chants. We're going to get 5 or 6 stars. We're going to shake hands after the match. If you're going to make this a generational era thing, you already lost. You can't touch the Attitude Era. You can only hope that people like BC Amplified educate you and that people like The Rock come back to show you. But no. We'll continue to change everything so we can make it more modern. We'll finish the story that was actually finished last year. We don't want the dream match. We don't want the part-timer. He's got an ego. He's a bully. He's sabotaging Mania. They dragged this dude because he's successful. And today, in this world, people don't like that, right? They want to see themselves, right? They'd rather their wrestlers 5'7", $160 soaking wet. That's what they want to see. They don't want to see Mr. Hollywood. They don't want to see Taylor Swift at the football game, man. That's a beautiful woman. Oh, wow, what do we do with that? What do we do with the beautiful woman? What do we do with her? I'll get her off the screen. Frickin' Taylor, this is a football game. That's what tweaks people out. Taylor Swift at a football game. Makes them lose their shit. The Rock is coming back to have a match after 10, 11, 12 years with John Cena. Over a decade ago, he wants to have a match with his cousin. How dare he? Let's lose our shit, everybody. There's a story that needs to be finished. Absolute clowns. And here we are, because of this latest WrestleMania movement, everything is a muddy mess. And WWE doesn't even know what to do. You know, at least with VKM, he would have made a decision whether he loved it or not. Now, they don't even know. It's Cody and Roman as of now. 5 minutes before, it was Rock versus Roman. Now you're looking at tag team. It's a mess. This is absolutely a shit fest. WrestleMania, 2 months. We don't have matches. We have nothing. I wrote notes, actually. I can go through them real quick with you. A wild panel to start us off. It was Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, CM Punk, and Big E. Pretty cool panel. Then we went to Paul, Triple H, Levesque, McMahon. He addresses the crowd, goes over the history of the past 40 years of Mania, and says we're just getting started. Bianca Belair is the first guest. She says she doesn't know what lane she'll be in, but she will be on the road to WrestleMania, because you can't spell WrestleMania without the EST. And BC was like, well, because I have to make sure that's accurate. So I'm like, WrestleMania, WREST, Old-mania. She was right. You can't spell it without EST. What? You knew I had to look at the word. I was like, wait a second. But she tells you right there, man. She tells you right there. She doesn't know what lane. She doesn't even know what match she's going to be in. She doesn't know. She's like, I'm pretty sure I'm a big star, right? I do a lot for the company. I was in the main event with Sasha not long ago. She actually mentioned Sasha too, by the way. I main evented with Sasha Banks. So pretty cool shout out, even though she's signing with AEW. And then she said, but I did beat her though. But Bianca Belair, she's out there promoting WrestleMania 40. You think it would be a big match, right? No, there's nobody out there with her. She's just saying, I think I'm gonna be at Mania. And then later on, Rhea Ripley is out next. Huge mommy chants. Becky Lynch interrupts. Becky says at WrestleMania, Rhea will find out how she made a career out of knocking Golden Girls off the top spot. So mommy will have to learn how to be on the bottom. That was a pretty good line. And of course, Rhea's going to learn at WrestleMania how Becky made a career out of knocking Golden Girls off the top spot. Of course, she's talking Charlie Flair. So it was two good jabs in one line. And then again, the end of that line, mommy will have to learn how to be on the bottom. Pretty good. But then again, we're hearing Liv Morgan will have a piece in this. So I don't know she'll qualify for the chamber, and how are you going to set up her and Becky both winning the chamber? I don't know with this company. But they're alluding to Becky Lynch and Rhea. Nothing will be confirmed until the chamber. The winner of that will take on Rhea. Again, we expect that to be a triple threat, but we don't know. That match is not official. So they just teased Becky and Rhea. Seth Rollins is out next. Then Roman Reigns comes out. The Rock and Roman is made official because, again, Cody said on Friday, I do not choose you, Roman. I will not be taking you on at WrestleMania. So Roman needs an opponent, so he says, all right, Rock, you're in. The match is made official. The graphics are up. And Cody Rhodes comes out and says, bullshit. What's bullshit? You're the one who talked to The Rock. You invited him to SmackDown. You introduced him to The Rock out there. Not introduction for the first time, but for that night, you introduced The Rock. You told Roman, I will not be facing you. This guy will be. So what's bullshit? None of this makes sense. This is so simplistic. And yet everybody wants to take the difficult route, right? BC, if you just listen to BC from the jump, none of this would have been a mess. And my subscribers, my veterans, my newer subscribers, you probably know by now what I said from the jump is Cody gets the title at 39. And then you read the room and you know he's got to win at 39. And then you go from there, man. Because a lot happens in a year and you set up the next set of epic matches for Mania 40. Instead, the massive botch happened at 39. Didn't want to listen to BC and people like BC. We went with the loud, smart crowd, right? We went with that crowd yet again, and they ended up being wrong again. So then this year comes around. I'm like, all right, listen, you got to go with the dream match, obviously. We've landed The Rock. He cut all this time out of the filming schedule. We finally get The Rock and Roman. Let's do this. With a title, without a title, doesn't matter. Rock taking the L, cool. Let's just do this. If you got to add in Cody in this damn story, then night one, night two it. That's fine. No, we muddy the waters. Nobody even talked about Cody until the Rumble, and then everybody's like, finish the story. And then everybody turns on The Rock, calling him I mean, the disrespect for a legend like The Rock, man. People dragging this dude. Unreal. One of the best talents you will ever... You saw it again tonight. He is one of the best talents in the history of the business. Today's fan, they hear so much about the Attitude Era and how epic it was, and I truly feel they want that so badly that in a delusional state, they act like they're getting it, right? Like, this is the best era, right? This is amazing, the wrestling matches. You could only hope to get wrestlers like Steve Austin, The Undertaker, The Rock, and Warrior, and Hogan. I'll take punches, kicks, clotheslines, and body slams over half the garbage I see in that ring that you're never going to remember. Thanks for putting your life on the line 36 times in that match. Nobody's going to back and watching it again. It's just one of those things where it's two sets of fans, and one set is always wrong, and then there's BC and fans like us who tried to say, we tried to tell you, and now we have to clean up your mess. And then we tell you exactly what needs to be done. And there they come again. No. We gotta cry, guys. Let's get together and cry a little bit. So you had a mixture. You had a mixture of what we're seeing now. Why WrestleMania is such a mess. Two things, right? WWE is a mess internally. And Paul Levesque McMahon is just completely lost. So the company's a mess. And then the fan bases are a mess. Fan bases. Too many people, too many journalists and reporters and podcasters and content creators that feel they have enough fucking pull, and they all come together with the same narrative, and they try to push it simultaneously, right? I guess that's what it is. So obviously that's a mess. And when you're already dealing with the mess that is WWE, this is what you get. This is the product, man. We went off the air tonight in the panel, CM Punk, Big E, Pat McAfee, Michael Cole. Nobody knew what was happening. Nobody. That's how we went off the air. Cody and Roman's visuals were up there. Cody said, "I do choose you," which again doesn't make any sense at all. Makes Cody look like a bigger moron than he did Friday and the Monday before that and the Friday before that and the rest of 2023. I choose you. And then Punk and everybody else, when we were going off there, is like, is it the match? I mean, are you sure? And The Rock yelling at Paul Levesque McMahon. Oh, man, I just see a weird tag match in the future that I just could not be any more nauseous over. And if done correctly, I guess we would get to Rock and Cody now. But it doesn't look like we're getting a fun Roman and Rock. Maybe they find a way to do it down the pipe, but it's not going to be the same. You know, this portion of the IWC absolutely sabotaged another WrestleMania. It's unfortunate, but here we go. And I can't even tell you, you're going to get part 2, Roman and Cody even. It looks like they're going to muddy this somehow because they're just lost. And Seth Rollins is in the middle of it. What are you doing? With your gimped leg and your bad back and your freaking bootleg knockoff participation trophy losers bracket title. What are you doing? Get out of there. Like Roman, I like Seth, man. On this channel, we literally, I'm not a big fan of Seth, but he was literally Wrestler of the Year. He earned it. So we give him the utmost respect on this channel. But dude, like Roman said, for this, you're at the kiddie table, man. This is for the big boy. This is big boy business right here. And we have to figure this out. And this should be Rock and Roman one night, Cody versus Roman the next night. It's not that hard. BC, though, the world title will look so stupid, man. Worse than it does. Look at it tonight. While everybody was fighting, those three were fighting, Sethington is looking at his title. It's one of those plastic toy belts at Target. It's all a mess. I don't even know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I witnessed. I'm recording this immediately after it went off the air, so you're getting raw emotion from it. You know what I mean? Like, I truly don't know what I just witnessed. And the person I'm watching it with, I mean, we're doing our separate writing projects. And to look up and say, wait, that was it. It went off the air? Like nothing was really made official though, right? For her to know that. I'm like, yeah, no, nothing. No, I don't know what's happening because it's so badly done, you know? It's so poorly brought together. Nothing's even brought together. It feels so, it's just bad. I don't know what's happening. I really don't know. I don't. This is a mess, man. You know, we're supposed to be excited about these matches. Now I just want stories to be finished. I just want frickin', if we're going to do this stupid tag match down the pipeline, I really hope it's... That's it. I don't know, man. I'm going to get a coffee. I can't comprehend this right now, guys. It's getting late. It's already went 45-ish minutes, if not more. So the better part of an hour. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I don't know. This was all over the place because this is all over. WrestleMania is all over the place. So I believe I began this 45 plus minutes ago saying I'm at a loss for words. And as a podcaster, that's saying something. But I can't say I have any more words 45 plus minutes later. I'm just at a loss that this is what we've come to. As a company, as a fan base, like this is where we're at. It's so fucking bad. Until next time. And there will be that next time. Top Guys, we're out. BC saying check you. Peace.